met here. So, apparently, I forced myself to do a WrestleMania review. Out of all the WrestleManias, we're halfway done. And, well, almost. I figured that now I'm gonna just do 4 today because they all link up in a way, and you'll see why. So, WrestleMania 27. Yes, I did a review of that a few years ago, and I still stand by. It was fucking bullshit. Simple as that. There was nothing cool. Well, actually, no, that's not true. It was almost ruined despite the Undertaker match. But anyways, we get the interesting point of WrestleMania's host, The Rock. Now, I don't have an issue with The Rock. I don't hate The Rock. I don't. I really don't. But the fact of the matter is, he turned 39. Not 40. I would have had celebrated The Rock's 40th birthday the following year. Would have made fucking sense. But Vince McMahon decides that he wants to celebrate the 39th birthday of The Rock. Whether he has his head shoved up The Rock's ass because The Rock returned to WWE, I don't know. But holy shit. And then you have this chick coming out, I can't remember what her name is, and don't give a shit. She comes out, she sings The Rock happy birthday. And then you have Vince McMahon coming out. And then he's in tears because, let's face it, The Rock came home. Then you have a little segment of I'm coming home. I can't remember who sings that song. It's WrestleMania theme song, by the way. And, yeah, there it is. Kissing The Rock's ass. Never thought anyways, so, technically The Rock is now the host of WrestleMania. Yeah. Anyways, so, we get to WrestleMania in the United States match. And it's funny, these two would be facing each other. I believe it's... well, the next year they'd be facing each other. We have Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan for the United States Championship. And Sheamus, being the United States Champion, this went to no contest, which is a shame. But it was a dark match. It wasn't on a pay-per-view, so who cares, really? Then you get the classic battle royal, where you have the Great Khali who won. So that was better than the match before. But then we get to WrestleMania 27. This felt like a fucking Raw or SmackDown. The stage was shit. The matches were piss poor, except for maybe 2. And it was just all over the place. Anyhow, so you get the World Championship match, which should have been near the end, but for some reason we started in the beginning. You've got Edge versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, Edge had Christian in his corner, and Alberto, of course, had Rico Rodriguez and Brodus Clay. That's interesting, you know, just to see Brodus Clay since he's now in TNA as Tyrus. Anyhow, Edge retains, and this was a pretty cool match. They were screwing with Alberto in his car and stuff like that, and they were, you know, just playing classic Edge and Christian. But yeah, so Edge retains. this was cool to see Edge as the champion this year, as he didn't have that opportunity the year before. Now, the next night on Raw, Edge has an announcement to make, saying that this was his last match. So, he had a neck damage, a lot of damage, so he had to retire. And what better way to retire than to go out as the world champion, although he had to forfeit the belt on Raw. And for the next 2 nights, he made a big speech, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, you know what, I had, you know, tears in my eyes during one of his speeches. It was that emotional, and I feel bad for not doing that with Daniel Bryan's speech 2 years ago. Wow, already. Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. And Cody Rhodes had the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick, and then it went on to the man having his nose broken. So he wore the classic nose brace, coming out to the ring and going against Rey Mysterio. Now, what was interesting about this type of brace was how he used it, and he used it to win a lot of his matches. Therefore, he had used it to win against Rey Mysterio. This was like, yeah, taking it off and then punching Rey Mysterio as the referee's back was turned. Then we had a crossroads. Then, of course, you get the new champ, or the winner. They're having an 8-man tag team. Kane, the Big Show, Santino, Marella, and Kofi Kingston, who defeated the Corre, which was Ray Barrett, Ezekiel Jackson, Heath, Slater, and Justin Gabriel. So, we take Nexus, and we just make them the Corre. So, that's fantastic. Nexus was basically just CM Punk being the leader, but since he's out, we have the fucking Corre. Okay. The good Big Show's team won. So, there's that shit right there. Then we have Randy Orton versus CM Punk. Now, yeah, they had a good feud. Of course, you know, CM Punk, well, it was one of my favorite wrestlers, and, you know, it's embarrassing to know that he did what he did just to go over to MMA after being fired from WWE, not following through with the professional wrestler thing, marrying AJ Lee, who I have had a crush on. She's still pretty good looking to me, but it's a shame because here's a man that they did screw around, but unfortunately, I guess just didn't stand up for himself that much as he should have. He did protest and whatever, but didn't go anywhere. The WWE is like a friend that's embarrassing sometimes. But instead of following with the you know, he had a show where he dedicated himself to working out, and unfortunately, what does he do a few months ago? His first fight, and he's down, just like that. Yep. You're your favorite wrestler. Anyways, Randy Orton won this match. So then we get Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the special guest referee. So again, Michael Cole coming down the aisle, dressed as a Cheeto with Jack Swagger and Jerry Lawler. This match was, you know, disqualification, of course. And what saved this match was Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning Michael Cole and stuff like that. That was really the highlight of this shit match. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if y'all commentators, whatever, that's fine. It just, yeah, fuck. Then we get the first of two matches. Undertaker versus Triple H. Now, Shawn Michaels faced Undertaker twice. And, of course, we had to have the hog. Triple H. Of course, I have to hog the spotlight. That's the worst impression ever. Shawn Michaels retired the year before. Of course, Shawn Michaels, being his best friend, had to do this match with The Undertaker. What was cool, though, was the setup, because these two have not been in the ring since the year before. Triple H came out, of course, in his leather jacket. Then we had the following... Or no. Undertaker came out first. Then Triple H came out. And then they stared at each other. You have Undertaker do the cutthroat sign. And then you had Triple H do the suck it crotch shot sign. And then they both look at the WrestleMania sign. And then you knew they were going to have a match. So that was pretty cool. It was also pretty cool to see how Triple H had the nights in the beginning. First it was Metallica with For Whom the Bell Tolls. Not Metallica being at WrestleMania. That would have been fucking awesome. No, it was just Metallica's audio of For Whom the Bell Tolls from Ride the Lightning. Great album. But anyways, so the nights left, Triple H came in and went back to Motorhead's Triple H song, and that was cool. Then you had Undertaker come out with Johnny Cash. I think that was Johnny Cash. But this was a no holds barred match. This was pretty cool. And Undertaker, getting older at this point and not moving as well as we think, obviously this match, whether this was real or fake, you know, Undertaker not getting up after, making Triple H submit to the Kimura, or Hell's Gate. It was awesome. But, you know, Undertaker, who had not gotten up after this match and had to be stretchered out, which was kind of interesting how that happened. So that would be one of 3 matches, because they did wrestle each other at a WrestleMania 17. Of course, Motorhead was there. But that was a good match also. They had 3 really good matches at WrestleMania. You know, I can say that just for the fact that, I mean, Austin and Rock were cool, but, you know, Triple H and Undertaker, whether you agree with me or not, had some really good matches at WrestleMania. And then again, a mixed take match, John Morrison, Trish Stratus, and Nicole Polizzi, from the Jersey Shore, Snooki, defeated Dolph Ziggler, Nicole, which was Michelle, Nicole, and Layla, with Vicky Guerrero in the corner. What a fucking letdown, because, I mean, it was a good match, but obviously, you know, you had the celebrity not do too much, but she was just there. And then, of course, the story goes that it was supposed to be Melina instead of Trish Stratus. Melina was supposed to be there, but then something happened. Not sure what it was, but at the end of the match, you had Crybaby Morrison not lift up Trish Stratus' head. Basically, just didn't acknowledge her. All because his fucking girlfriend wasn't there. Now, I don't really have any issues with Melina. I heard she was kind of a diva herself. John Morrison, I had my disgust. I showed you how little I care about this asshole. And then we get to the main event for the WWE Championship, The Miz with Alex Riley versus John Cena. Now, who would have thought? John Cena didn't win this match. Now, this was all due to The Rock's interference. For some reason, The Rock came out and gave the Rock bottom to John Cena. I can't remember why. But this is kind of like, okay, well, interesting. The Miz being the WWE champion, you know, with that stupid 3D WWE championship. Well, I wasn't a fan of that, but this was actually his own version with the W turned into an M. So this was kind of an interesting match. Not really, nah. This match was pure bullshit, but I'm trying to make it fun. It wasn't a good match at all. Miz retained. Of course, The Rock, for some reason, interfered. John Cena and The Rock had a big feud. Because they're both movie stars. Whatever. John Cena said something about The Rock being a bitch. I don't know. And then the next night on Raw, John Cena came out and talked a bit. Then The Rock came out. And then they talked and whatever. And then you had the fucking Rock say, hey, we should have a match at WrestleMania next year. So WrestleMania 28 was set in stone. It'll be The Rock versus John Cena. And, yep. That should have been it. Because, hey, this was going to be once in a lifetime. But, get to that in a second. Okay, bye.